Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to look at topic 1.1, which is a subtopic of topic 1 global interdependence. Okay, in topic 1.1, we'll be looking at linkages between economies. Okay, if you look at it in the syllabus, there are 4 linkages between economies, which includes foreign investment, tourism, immigration, and trade. So what are we going to learn here is basically about how Australia as a country link with other countries, what kind of relationship they have with other countries when it comes to these 4 elements, and how having relationship or linking with other countries in these 4 manners would benefit Australian economy. Okay, so let's look at the first link, which is investment. The word investment here, it actually refers to foreign investment. Okay, please remember it's always about foreign investment here. Okay, when we look at foreign investment, we are looking at here Australians trading partners investing in Australia. So Australia has been having close relationship with many countries, and in recent years with many developing countries. Okay, having close relationship with developing countries, or we call them the growing economies, developing economies, and we also call them emerging economies. Okay, these countries, they are growing rapidly. When they are growing rapidly, we can make a conclusion that they would have more funds available over the years to invest. Okay, and to invest, they can choose to invest in their own country or invest abroad. Okay, they may choose to invest in Australia, okay, because Australia and their countries has this free trade agreement. Having free trade agreement between countries would actually make investment flow smoother. Okay, so it makes foreign investors find it easy to invest in Australia. Okay, and because of that, Australia can attract more of these foreign funds, and these foreign funds that come in, we call it as capital inflow. So the word capital here refers to investment, foreign investment in this case. Yeah, investment inflow will increase. Having more funds coming into the country, it allows us to have more funds to increase our production, because these funds can be used to conduct R&D. It can be used to get new machine. Okay, it can be used to engage new technology. It can be used to run training. Okay, which can ultimately improve production of a company. Having increased level of production in a company will ultimately leads to higher level of GDP in a country. Okay, and not only that, when we have more foreign investment coming in, it provides more jobs opportunity as well. Having more jobs opportunity will lead to a lower unemployment rate. Okay, now let me show you one example of how it has benefit Australian economy. Okay, so if I show you here, the leading foreign investment, okay, for Australia in year 2019, it's actually from US, UK, Belgium, Japan, Hong Kong, and as the list go on, you will see more and more Asian economies or developing economies coming into picture. Okay, now another example that I can show you here is Amgen in Australia. Amgen is a Californian countries, okay, and they have spent lots of money in Australia, particularly being used, I mean the funds is particularly being used to conduct clinical trials that is relevant to treatments of cancer and other diseases. Okay, and all this actually helps to expand Australia medical field. Okay, that's how it benefits Australia besides GDP. Okay, now second link that we have mentioned in the beginning of this video is tourism. Okay, in this case, we are looking at, again, emerging economies being Australians trading partners. Okay, they have more household income available, and they have more national income. So you can say that the developing economies, people of the developing economies, purchasing powers increases over time. When their purchasing power increases over time, when they think of going for holiday, they can again choose to spend their holiday within their country or abroad, and Australia can again be one of the attractive destination. Okay, of course, because Australia is closer to geographically closer to developing economies. Australia has got many tourism spots, tourist spot that is attractive. Okay, and that actually encourage foreign tourists to come in. Okay, when tourists travel to Australia, of course it expands the tourism industry directly. Expanding tourism industry will requires more workers, particularly in tourism industry where it is a service based industry. Okay, it's a service industry, therefore it is labor intensive, meaning it needs a lot of workers. Okay, many workers. Okay, huge number of workers, that's why we call it labor intensive. So more labor needed, more workers will be able more labor will be able to find job, and that reduces unemployment rate. And not only that, when tourists come into Australia, tourists can also spend money in other areas besides just tourism related sector. Okay, so for example, buy local products, for example, spend on other local companies, okay, buying souvenirs and things like that, food and beverages, and all this contributes to expansion of other industries as well. So when other industries expand, again, more workers needed. So that's how this is linked. Okay, now again, I'm going to show you one example, one real life example. In 2019, okay, Australia hosts the highest number of travelers since 1991-92. And where does tourists come from? Mainly China, New Zealand, US, UK, and Japan. Okay, so this is real life example that you can always use in your answers. Okay, question 3. Link 3. The third link, yeah, is immigration. Okay, now immigration, here we are looking at Australia having a very strict border management. Okay, a very strict border management. Having a strict border management here simply tells you it will increase the confidence level of foreigners, particularly if you are looking at, in this case, skilled workers. It will actually increase their confidence in going into Australia, so they would be encouraged to actually emigrate into Australia. Okay, come into Australia. And how would it benefit Australia? Having skilled worker coming in, of course, our productivity level will increase, our efficiency level will increase as well, and that will increase the level of GDP. And this one, when we look at it, we are looking at Australia needs skilled workers, okay, in certain industries. For example, in medical field, we do need skillful and professional labor from other country, and we need skilled labor in mining industry as well. We need skilled labor in beauty line as well. There's so many industries in Australia that needs skilled labor to come in. So having a strict border management will bring in more skilled workers, foreign skilled workers. Yeah. Okay. Now another example that I can show you here, but in relation to immigration would be here. See, they have migration program. In here, I only put in 4 migration program, but what I want to show you is they have migration program that really encourage foreigners to come in. Skill stream, you encourage skilled workers to come in. Family stream, you are actually encouraging their family members to come in as well. Special eligibility stream, that will be other program that is being put together if the applicant does not fulfill the requirements of other streams. And of course, child stream as well. So you see, they're making it a very friendly environment in terms of welcoming foreign workers. Okay, now the last link would be trade. Okay, in terms of trade, again we are looking at our trading partners economy. It's developing, they're emerging economies, they're developing economies. Okay, and particularly economies that is focusing on manufacturing, industrialized economies. Okay, so in economy or country that focused on manufacturing sector, and this country, they would surely need a lot of raw material. And this raw material, where can they get it from? One of the countries and closest countries would be Australia, because Australia has been blessed with lots of natural resources. For example, yeah, iron ore. Australia is the top supplier in the world, the top supplier in the world in terms of iron ore, followed by coal, okay, followed by natural gas. Okay, all these things, countries like China, they don't have it. Okay, but Australia has it. So Australians demand for Australians natural resources will increase, okay, or we call it mineral, particularly, yeah, mineral. Okay, so that actually contributes to Australian exports. Exports will increase, and will increase, and therefore trade would increase as well. Okay, and that again contributes to Australians' GDP. Okay, spending increases, production has to increase, GDP increases. Okay, now besides that, industrialized country does mass production. Factories, and they are industrialized, obviously mass production will be happening. So meaning they produce in bulk. Okay, when they produce a product in bulk, their cost of production will be lower. Unit cost of production will be lowered down. When unit cost of production lowered down, then of course for Australia we will benefit, because we will then get a cheaper import. When we get cheaper import, our import spend would increase. How increasing import spend benefit Australia? One very straightforward answers would be it increases our standard of living. Okay, standard of living of Australian would increase because we have more choices. Not only that, when we get to import, it actually create higher level of competition between suppliers. Okay, higher level of competition will push down price. Okay, and hence will actually bring down inflation rate. Okay, that's how benefits trade benefits Australia. And besides that, the last one, the word urbanization. When we look at the word urbanization here, this one I put here particularly referring to China. China went through urbanization, whereby they are encouraging their farmers to leave farming activities and come and work in the factories. Okay, and because of that, there's a huge influx of rural areas citizen, I mean people from rural area to the city. Okay, and that actually causes increased demand for houses. Okay, and factories, because people come in, factories has to be there, job opportunity has to be there. So all this needs resources to build houses, factories, and all that needs resources to build, and again that leads to higher demand for raw material. Okay, now one example I can show here is very good. This thing, if you look at this chart here, we are looking at total trade, okay, between Australia and the rest of the world. 65.9% of Australians' total trade were done with Asian economies, and these are developing economies. That's how important Asian economies is to Australian economy and how it can benefit them. Okay, next time, before we end the video, I will be showing you an example of a past year question. Okay, so these are the 4 linkages. Just a quick recap. Okay, foreign investment, tourism, immigration, trade. Linking with other countries in these 4 ways will benefit Australia, and I've mentioned the benefits. And okay, now, so how would question ask when it comes to this part of the syllabus? Okay, describe the advantages to Australia of the increased linkages among the countries in the Asia Pacific region through investment and trade in recent years. So this question simply asks you, when Australia has relationship with Asian economy, in this case Asia Pacific economies, through investment and trade, how would it benefit Australian economy? And it's 4 marks. When it is 4 marks means you would need 2 paragraphs. Each of these you will need to have 2 marks explanation. Okay? So if you see here, I have some keywords in WACE exam that that I pick up from the marking guide of the WACE exam. Okay, and this was year 2003 questions. Okay, now you may look through this and you will realize that most of the keywords being used here, I have actually explained it when I was explaining the details of each linkages that we looked at. Okay, now then I show you one sample student answer. Okay, now see, every time when you are trying to explain a point for WACE exam, you will need a paragraph for you to get 2 marks. This will be 2 marks each. First paragraph is about how Australia linked with the rest of the world through investment. Second paragraph to tourism. Okay, of course I'm showing you tourism because the one for trade you can actually see here. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you investment where the marking guide is very brief, and tourism where it was not asked. Okay, so let me change this to tourism so it doesn't confuse you. Okay, so one of the reason here how Australia benefit is through foreign investment. So the students actually wrote that the Australia economy is growing because they are close to the growing economies, and they give example of real life example of what is growing economies. Okay, you can put China, you can put India, and whatever countries that we are looking at here. This is even more obvious in the existence of blah blah blah, and how it benefits stimulate GDP. So you have to tell the examiner from investment how it can benefit your country, because from investment from having relationship with growing economy, they have more funds to invest, therefore your GDP can increase. All these keywords has to be there and include an example. Okay, second point here, through tourism, for example, when you have national income from the developing countries or any other countries, increase in the national income will actually cause Australians' national income to increase as well. Why? Because tourism provides jobs opportunity, therefore reduces unemployment rate. Tourism sector will expand, therefore national income increases. And you give an example. And that is very important. Okay, that's about it for this topic 1.1. I hope this video will help you to understand this subtopic. For the next video, we will be looking at topic 1.2, pattern of world trade. See you in the next video. Bye.